All right, we are live. Again, as I posted on Twitter, don't operate any heavy machinery while watching this snooze fest. So let's see, here we go. I should have been more prepared, but that's fine. Here we go. All right. So had a great stream with Daniel last week. And in the battalion group, we had a request to get Creative Fuel to work with Portuguese. So he ran a audience insights engine where it analyzes comments for a particular video and then gave ideas for future videos based on what the audience is talking about. And in a screenshot, he showed that all of the suggestions were in English. And from a video that was in Portuguese, he was kind of hoping that the ideas would be in Portuguese as well. So I was going to see if I could get this done in less than an hour. So I started a timer here. All right. Wow, that's kind of annoying. We'll check on that later. We'll hide it for now. So yeah, so the plan was didn't seem too difficult. I thought maybe we could just kind of run through how we decide on ideas. And maybe try to build it actually. So let's see how it goes here. All right, showed you as example. I tried to make a little list here to guide me through the stream. Yeah, when it comes to localization or dealing with multi languages in your product, I feel like there's kind of two things you have to handle, especially in the AI realm, and that is your product itself. So, where it says channel training data or audience training data, things like that. The different labels on screen, being able to let the user select different languages so that they can understand your product better. That's not what we're doing today. We do want to get to that eventually, but early on in a product, if you start handling every language out there or even more than one, more than your native language, it really slows down the development process. And so we're just sticking with English for now. Sorry to everybody, to the non-English speakers. Hopefully we'll get to it someday. But the output, so on the AI side, when you're getting ideas, it does seem like you should be able to fairly easily have the AI give you responses in other languages. And traditionally, this was a very difficult task. I mean, almost impossible before AI. If you have, I mean, there's Google Translate services, things like that you can use. But with AI, you can essentially just, have a prompt that you say, give me the results in another language. So when thinking through this whole process, as a product, it's like, okay, I created a profile for his channel here. I will butcher the name. Fala Cruzerance. Fala Cruzerance. So when thinking about, okay, how do we know and remember what language this user of our product wants? In Creative Fuel, you have your kind of your account level data, but then for each YouTube channel, wow, this is so boring, but that's fine. You have your account level data, but then under that, each YouTube channel that you link has its own set of data and information. And so kind of the first thought was like, okay, well, do we put their language preferences on the account level or for the individual YouTube channels? And I think eventually it's going to have to be both. At the account level, that'll be more for what language you want these labels to be in. But then at the channel level, it's really kind of the output from the AI. What language do you want? So this is the profile screen where Um, this is where you can put in information about your channel and your audience, and every time it generates ideas, and does any kind of work with your channel, it uses all this information. So let's see. Yeah, a couple things to think through. Okay, so if we add this new, I'm thinking of just like throwing a label and a drop down at the bottom of the profile here, where they'll pick the language from the drop down list. For the default value, probably for today, we'll just default it to English and the user can change it. I think in the future, obviously, it's nice to default to the actual user's language if you know it. And I mean, with AI, it makes it super easy. You can just ask AI, like, look at the titles of the videos on this channel and tell me what language they're speaking. And so that's eventually how it'll be. We could also pull I think the language from YouTube's API potentially, maybe, or maybe it's just country. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, once it's saved, it'll probably never change, but we'll allow the user to change it if they ever want. And then there's things like when you add a new feature like this, a new option, um, you have to think, what about existing customers? So if we got thousands of users already, we'll just default them all to English. But in some cases, like this one, I'll probably create some like kind of back end service that goes through all the existing users and then kind of hits an AI thing to analyze their channel, come up with what language they're speaking, and update it for them. So when people come in down the line, it will be their actual language selected. Okay, so that's the plan. Add a drop down here so the user can change the language. And then when you go to generate ideas, the ideas should come back in whatever the language the user selected. So the first thing, I guess, is we have a database that, let me pop this out. How do you guys deal with pop out chat? Okay, that's good. The chat, I mean, can you guys just calm down a little bit? It's a little crazy in the chat right now. All right. I'll try to get to all of you. I'm sorry. Let's see. So, okay. First thing we're doing is adding, and this is where this is not a good thing to stream because I have all my code like on another window. I don't know if I should be sharing that or not, like there's nothing secret in there, but also feels weird just showing code to everybody because that's super boring as well. All right. Let's see. So I'm adding a new, basically, there's a table in the database for each channel that a user adds. And I'm just going to add a new column to that table called language. So basically, a new property. So let me just do that real quick. Okay. Should just take a second. Okay. Okay. All right. The new database is, or the new, database is updated. So now we need to add a drop down to this page. So basically, I just got to go find that page kind of in all my source code. Let's see. We'll probably drop it. Oops. Like below this block of information. Let me see if I refresh the page. Okay, so I added like this high. Okay. I guess we'll give it this similar kind of formatting to this one. Let's see. I don't know. We'll just call it settings for now. And we'll call it, oh, interesting. Kind of did this wrong, but whatever. We'll just call it language. Let me see what it looks like if I refresh the page. Okay. So we got a little setting section, language. Obviously, this is not a drop-down list. I am going to, let me just add a new thing over here. I'm going to go to ChatGPT, as most programmers do these days, and basically say, create a drop-down list using Tailwind, which is what we use for styling. For a language. I'm just going to tell it to add all the languages that YouTube supports, and hopefully it'll do it. So now we sit back while our little AI builds it. So here it's like adding all the languages. All right, we're getting there. Looks like it's going to be, I kind of just wanted to save the actual language, like full language in the database, but it looks like it's just going to save, like we'll just use the 2-digit code for each language. All right. Okay, so we got that. Let me go back to the code now. We'll paste it in. And in theory, we should have a list of all the languages on screen. Let's see what happens. There we go. So as you can see, it's kind of built for light mode. Currently, Creative Fuel is only dark mode. That was just to kind of speed up development. So let's change that real quick. It's harder to think when you're live streaming. Good enough. Okay, so now we got this. So right now, it's always, or it doesn't default to anything. It's not saved in the database. So what do we got to do? We got to, kind of the way that our project is set up is when this page loads, it passes in the summary, the value prop, the topics, lifestyle. So what I need to do is add another property to the data that gets passed into this page. So I need to go find that. Okay. I think I found it. So now I just need to update something here. Okay. So now we got it. I think it is going to be passing in a language. It's currently not set. So I guess we're going to have to just, like I said, default everybody's to English if it's not set. So, all right, let's see here. Actually, one thing I wanted to try out was great. Okay. Is there a way to add like background music or something? Maybe OBS someday. All right. Language. Okay. So it's pulling it from the database. All right. So yeah. So we have, thousands of users that don't have any language set. So I guess right now I'll just go in real quick and update this so that it gets set. Okay. Okay. So basically when you go to edit your profile, if the language is null, it gets set to English. So now, let's see. Let me go back. Going back to ChatGPT. I got a question. Okay. Basically, I'm asking ChatGPT the best way to set the default value. Because I've had issues with this before. It's a little quirky, the way that the technology we use works. Let me see what happens if I get an error. Okay. See, ChatGPT was wrong. All right, it's coming up with a different way of doing it. Let me see. Let me stop this. I guess while it's coming up with a new way, I can work on saving it. So once it's changed, we need to pass that value back up to our server and save it. So I'm going to the edit profile page. Oh. Okay. Actually, we got an update here. No idea what'll happen. It kind of did something similar, which was not smart. Okay, let's not do that. All right, while it's doing that, like I said, I'm going to go in and update, like when you save. When you update the language and click save, we got to save that in the database. All right, that's actually going to be pretty easy. All right, we're going to try some JavaScript instead of the way we were doing it before. Too many files open. Where am I? Here we go. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, where am I? Profile. Okay. Okay, sorry, we got to update. Little bug. Is that it? Maybe. Let's try again. Let's push play. Oops. Okay, so, oh, there we go. So it defaulted as English. Let's see what happens. Nothing. This is the fun of programming. Did not work. So now we got to figure out why did it not. Oh, okay. I think I know why. We forgot to include the language when we were sending the information back. Does this even have a name? Hold on. Okay, language select. Okay, so we want to get the value of the selected language. Okay. I do wish I could share my code. Let's see what happens if I just do that. Let's change to Dutch. Oh, did anyone else notice that? I think it worked. All right, so we got, yeah, let's go Portuguese. Yay. So if I like leave and come back, it saves it. One thing I noticed, it does take like a split second for it to get set. So I don't know, I could like hide it Let me just see what it looks like again. Yeah, I don't know. You can barely notice. Okay. Okay, so we finished this. We added it to the database. We added it. We did the view models for loading and saving it. So now we need to update the prompts um, to use the selected language, which is kind of funny because I ran audience insights engine on the exact same video that he did and that Kadu did. Hopefully I'm getting your name right. And when I ran it, it actually gave me Portuguese video ideas, I assume. Let's see. I just want to see what this is in English. Okay. I don't know. We'll have to double check with him to see if that works. Okay, so now actually let me just do like a freestyle Brazilian football, a compilation video, and generate ideas. So we haven't implemented anything as far as using the okay, we're 26 minutes in as far as using the language. Okay, so this is good. I was hoping it would come up in English because I want to do the same thing after adding some code to use the user's language. Okay, generate controller. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So right now I'm just trying to find the code that actually generates the ideas. Freestyle, where are you? This looks good. Okay. All right. I found where it's like building the whole prompt. So basically, at the end of the prompt, I'm going to say, if a language is set and it's not English, then give the results in the language that it's selected. Okay. All right, almost done here. All right, so I'm updating, like I said, updating the prompt, like kind of the AI prompt, so that if the language is set to something other than English, to give the results in whatever language is set. All right, we'll see what happens. One thing I did, it saves out the 2-digit code, like EN for English, for example. Kind of all these codes, BS for Basonski. So I'm just passing in those 2-digit codes to ChatGPT. Hopefully, I assume it's smart enough to know what language those are, or they map to the same kind of that YouTube uses. Okay. So let's go back. What we're doing, we're going to pick an idea engine. We're going to go freestyle, Brazilian football, compilation. Click generate ideas. I have a little breakpoint in my code so I can verify that it is, the prompt is getting updated to say, yes, add Portuguese. Let's see what happens. The moment of truth. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Yeah. No idea what these say, but I assume that it worked. Let's open ChatGPT again for fun and just say, translate to English. So this one is the greatest comebacks of Cruzeiro that you won't believe. There you go. Maybe we'll just try one other one. Actually, I mean, this brings up a good point, and something like when you're building a product, you have to think through. So this viral templates, these are all written in English, like a number of things subject experts do that you don't. Like I guess it still works if you translate it to another language. I mean, that made me just think I haven't added code yet to handle the viral templates. Let me do that real quick. Generate ideas, viral mode. I think this is it. It's kind of funny. These are like programmed differently depending on who programmed it. This one's laid out differently. I always assume that mine are wrong and everybody else knows what they're doing. Going to rerun the project here, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh, man. I don't think that's right. Yeah. Looks like I added the code to an old version of it. Let me find, hopefully this is the newer version. I can just copy and paste it in here. Rebuild it. Let me go back. Hopefully this will load. We can run it again. Okay, so now if we want to, oh yeah, we're doing viral templates. Hopefully, yeah, we'll test this out and see what happens. Pick one of those and click generate ideas. There we go. So ex-employee of company shares behind the scenes secrets. X blah blah blah. It looks like it's doing it. So now I just need to make sure I need to add like the language to the reimagine idea engine. And audience insights. Interesting. Okay. Is that it for now? Maybe. Hopefully it doesn't blow up the project. Yeah, I guess we could try one of these real quick. Yeah, I mean, this is good. These are going to be in other languages already. Cool. Let's see the checklist, test, publish. I mean, I haven't published it yet. Right. Let's not do that now. Yeah, there you go. So we added a language. I guess we could verify that I go back to English and then actually if I'm reimagining a video in this other language, what would the user want? I guess if English is selected on the profile, it should go to English. But if the channel is Portuguese, the default would have been set to Portuguese when they first loaded it. Yeah. All right. New feature added. I'll go publish it. It'll be live in 5 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Sorry I couldn't get to all the comments and the super chats. Man, it's tough being popular. Okay, bye. Oh, how do we stop this?